What is going on, guys? I'm going to continue the Warp Spider Phoenix Lord today, or this evening. Should be able to put a good dent of progress in on these effects. I got a Winter's Batrep on in the background for myself. You guys can't hear it, but the link to that Batrep is in the description of this video. So if you want to sync it up and follow along, you're more than welcome to, or you can just watch or listen to whatever else you'd want while we share in the hobby camaraderie. Okay, been a few days since I've been working on this guy, so where to begin? Where to begin? The blood effects are kind of bad, so definitely want to fix that up. The Warp Blast is looking pretty decent. Some spots have yet to be layered. And beyond this base layer, I do want to refine it quite a bit. Alright, let's get into it. Let's just get some toxic mist going. Toxic mist on my palette's pretty diluted. Suspect it's the osmosis caused by the wet palette. Now that is a nice looking Sisters Army. Sort of unintentionally getting some hot spots on the shit, I'm screwing this up as I talk. Yeah, intentionally getting some bright spots where these energy veins fork, which is cool, but the paint mix is so runny that it's a bit hard to control, as you saw. Speaking of flamers, I've been dabbling with a Death Guard list. That's just all spewers all day. It just definitely seems to have some obvious weaknesses, but I just love the idea of a bunch of stinky thick boys hosing everything around them. Try and brighten up this glove. What's going on, Francois? I just saw your message there. It was a bit too focused on the painting on my end. Listening to the Batrep while I'm painting is certainly already causing me to pay less attention to chat, I think. So we'll see. We'll see if this is a good idea or a bad idea. But how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Okay, let's get some skeleton bone army painter going. I just need to find it. There we go. There's not too many bone elements on this guy, just the helmet. Back still hurts, but you're persevering on your Deathwing Blade Guard in Ancient. I approve of this fighting spirit of yours. And while I'm here, I'm not gonna work so procedurally. I'm just gonna sort of go with the flow here and just move around to different assets as they feel natural. I'm thinking I only need to wash this side of the gun, because the other side of the bolter will be just totally blasted by the bounce light. Oh, this is quite watery. The question is it too watery? This is the mix of, not Celestra Gray, but Dark Sea Gray and Toxic Mist. Okay, let's see if I should layer this a bit more. Push the OSL. I think in principle it makes sense to push it brighter now that I've tinted the overall area. Paragon warsuits. Not all too big of a fan of Paragon warsuits, honestly. The head of lettuce needs a non-green color to add contrast. Interesting proposition. Maybe the vortex itself. I don't want it to be too noisy. But you might be right. It's a little hard to evaluate without the prime sitting in there. You like the idea of purple behind where the dark green is behind. Oh, sorry. The idea of purple where the dark green is behind the lightning. Or yellow or bright blue on the bends. Yeah, if I were to add another color, I think I would definitely be just taking an area and adding a cool color. Probably a blue or a purple, honestly. The warp spider is reddish for the most part, and so I don't want to add too much color. I also will be doing this gal's OSL mostly green tinted, hence why this is primarily green, so I want to maintain that as the primary effect color. I find this OSL kind of challenge I'm taking with this model is already pretty difficult for my skill level. So I don't want to make it even harder, if you know what I mean. Okay, I think I have a workflow in mind for this, these blood effects. But it's going to involve painting it over what I've done. Adding the technical gloss back over so I can just see where the light naturally hits. And then I think add hot spots and then contrast on the side that would be hit and then gloss varnish all over. I think that's going to yield a better result. Let's paint over this. Just using a bit of leftover paint from the palette here. I think it's London Grey and black paint, or it might even be primer. I just want to fill in this these cork toppers. I could do that, Francois. I definitely could. But I don't know if I will. I am honestly considering adding some variable colors in the effect itself. Like perhaps some of these lightning veins or energy veins could have a blend on them, going from green to purple, or as they wane or recede into the swirl here. But I don't want to complicate what is already a challenging task for myself with regards to trying to create an effect that's supposed to illuminate another model. It's not something I have much experience in. That's some nice terrain. Really good looking terrain. my playgroup's gotten rather accustomed to playing with L-shaped buildings and tournament templates, and it's kind of a treat to see terrain like this. You would go brighter on the lightning, like yellow. I'll consider it. I'm not loving the idea of yellow lighting. In fact, adding any variation effects or any variation of color to these effects on the Warp Blast Cabbage might have to wait till I do some test fits or something, just so I can evaluate the model in its entirety. Because I do want to add a color of some sort to these blades as well. Because I feel like primary weapon, you want them to pop, you want them to draw the eye, and I may want to use an accenting color here rather than what's behind her, if you follow. I don't know, it's all TBD. I have to evaluate as I go. So I want to add more off-white to the legs here. Oh man, the paint on my palette is really really dried up. It's not dry, it's like turned to a paste. Weird. I'll try and get some Flash Gets Yellow and then go right to Wild Rider Red. I think that should be a bit better. Or not be a bit better, but I think that should create a hot kind of molten, melted ceramite look. At least I hope so. You're saying, Francois, you're saying green lightning with little yellow highlights just on the bends and crooks of the lightning. Just on the bends, eh? On the joints. Well, you're making me curious, so I won't lie. I think that looks hotter. Like, look at this white paint. It's just like turned to paste. It's basically turned to whiteout, like liquid paper. I'm gonna have to take a little bit of a reference research at some point. You know what? I'll probably do it after or off stream, just to kind of reevaluate if the approach is good or not for these hot areas. Ah, you've taken the time to look up reference, Francois. That is very much appreciated. I'll give it a look. I'll give said reference a look. Okay, so trying to mimic the where the light is catching. Let's try out this experiment. Alrighty, let's get some hex wreath going onto these helmet horns. Just listening to the battle report. And commentaries are pretty funny every now and again. Yeah, I haven't watched Winter's Batreps in quite a while, but when I was watching battle reports, they were my preferred format. Trying to soften this a little bit. adding some hex wraith to the blood, and it's going to worsen the gloss effect. Should result in more of a matte finish, so I'll have to add the gloss back in at some point, and I think when I do that, it will come together. That's the hope. Let's resurrect some of this dark sea gray, start painting this bolter. Kind of like this Artel pattern bolt gun. Not a bad aesthetic. First image on your search, Francois, is green lightning art print is also a good example. Okay, the least I can do is take a look at the stuff you're suggesting. Let's see if I can brighten this up a little bit with that pasty white paint. Well, it's working, but is this the right color? Should it be a little bit more green? Probably. It is quite close to the cabbage, as it were. Oh shit, fuck that up. Jesus, how am I going to do this? There, that's a bit easier. I'm gonna shift focus to the pillar now, because I think most of the other areas are kind of adequate to move on. Can probably shift gears back to the model next stream. Fairly subtle edge highlighting right now. And I guess that makes sense because you want to, I'm planning to brighten them up as they would approach the light source. Yeah, I'm of the same mindset, Francois. I don't want to change the overall green hue, but adding a little bit of color to add some variation to the effect, I'm totally down with. I think that could only serve to make it more visually interesting and less cabbage-like, which is good. I think it's becoming too bright. I'm gonna try mixing some some Hexwraith flame into my London Gray here, or Dark Sea Gray. I think it might be a blend of both, if I'm honest. Late again, Alfarius. Late again. How fitting. Named after the last Primarch to be found. And late again. Listen, don't take it personally, okay? I'm just kidding. Just kidding around. Don't feel bad. Real talk. I'm happy you're able to join the stream. What are you up to? What are you hobbying? Or are you still in your PA? Cool. How's it going, Troy? Thanks for tuning in. What are you up to this fine evening? I'm trying to find my custom wash. this it? Yeah, it is. Just want to put the usual word bearer's wash over the armor. See how that changes the aesthetic. Now this isn't going to go over the backside. Phrasing. It's going to go over only the front-facing armor panels. I can try and perhaps blend it towards the back-facing armor panels. Okay. I think the armor looks better for it, if I'm honest. This might just because of the contrast. Oh, I just never painted that thumb. Funny. We have custom agrax and regular or official agrax. I'll use the GW's Citadel's Agrax Earthshade for the pillar, but I don't want to muddy up all the lighting I've done, so I'll probably just maybe aim for like a recess shade. I wonder if this will require, if it'll require me to clean it up after the fact. Maybe it should have been a green wash, I don't know. Wanting to paint, but you have ironing to do, Troy. Oh, certainly less fun. But I would imagine necessary. You're being responsible. 'Tis the right choice. Yeah, I appreciate you choosing this stream to accompany you during your chores, basically. I'm flattered. Flattered by the choice. Alright, let's get some homebrew wash on these lower rocky cork areas. Yeah, this is a little glossy because it's a homebrew wash. It's not the nicest finish, but after a few dry brushing coats, it's fairly matted down. Plus, my eld are on watery bases, so if there are some areas that are glossy, I don't think it hurts the effect. Oh man, this mix is basically all used up. Then without ruining the OSL stippling, let's try and add some of this wash lightly onto the foothold here. Okay, I think we're looking pretty cool. Pretty cool for the base. Paint that word bearer's armor. I'm thinking the thumb is so small it won't matter if I don't wash it. Okay, let's take a look at these reference images Francois was looking up. Let's see. Let's see if we can make it happen. Okay, now I'm supposed to go to the Google search. And I'm supposed to look for, well, let me scroll through chat here. Okay. Realistic, lightning. On blue background. Excuse the typing. Alright, so I got some... oh, I know, okay, shoot. Green lightning art print. Okay, first image. Okay, I see what you're saying. Green sky with a fairly yellow bolt. It does have a good visual aesthetic appeal. Let me zoom to enhance. Okay, so let's try it out. I still got some Flash Gets Yellow on my palette, so maybe that's a good paint to start with. Oh god, it's mixed. It's fully mixed with the clumped up off-white. Alright, so on the joints we want to add yellow spots, and I'm going to blend these out, I guess. That's the idea. So we're going to just add these spots first. I'm trying to recall how I did the lightning on my Tyranid bone swords. But that was more of a freehand thing. It did rely on a lot of glazes, though. This is such an ugly color. What happened? Jesus. Let me get some fresh Flash Gits. Like, Flash Gits is an awesome pigment. It's fairly not chalky, and it's just hyper vibrant. Okay. I need to work somewhere separate on my palette. Everywhere was getting contaminated with other colors, and even some of the glazing pools are just cursed. I'm thinking I need to glaze these on just because of the I want to lessen the potency. I want them to be, well, I want high contrast, but I don't want it to feel out of place. I think you need a good blend. My favorite aspect shrine. Oh, Farius, asking the tough questions. Okay, look, probably. Look, I like Banshees because I think they're cool. Okay, I think the agile lady warriors with big hair. I think it's a cool look. It's kind of like the arena fighters from Drukhari. Very cool. But teleporting is cooler. I think warp spiders are probably real up there for the style factor. But I think my favorite in my heart of hearts, probably the Shadow Specters, honestly. It's too bad there's no model that's up to snuff. Like the Forge World models, while nice, are a little aged. You can kind of feel how they're certainly not as well proportioned as the modern GW Aspect Warriors or the Artel ones. Like, what for sure, the Artel ones, they're far behind. I kind of wish Artel made a set of Shadow Specters. They'd be awesome for their aesthetic. Maybe someday. I like the Shadow Spectre Shrine because I think I'm a sucker for the Prism Rifle. It's like the concept for space elves to have these fantasy-styled weapons. You know, it's like a lightsaber, you know, crystal-based. Adds that fantasy flair. I think it's very cool. I'm so disappointed with the Shadow Spectre rules this edition. I know they're strong and tournament players abuse them, but I just feel like the ruling for their prism rifles is so... And actually, like, many of the profiles themselves for the units and the Phoenix Lord was so disappointing. Lacking flavor and theme. Big sad. New Shadow Spectres would be fire? Hell yes. Oh boy. Yep, they are very cool. You can imagine like how the sculpting would work when you look at the Artel sculpts for, geez, what are those units called? What are those Animusha looking Drukari guys called? What are the I can't remember. They look like Animusha. They look like a demon samurai looking guys. I could imagine the smoky, ethereal kind of aspect to the Shadow Specters would look similar to those guys, is what I mean. Okay, so I'm adding this yellow. And look, Francois, let the record show your suggestion was a good one, because I'm liking how it looks. I think already it needs more work, obviously. There's just the foundational layers, but I think already I can kind of see where it's going, and I think it looks much more visually interesting. Okay. I think Francois has a good head on his shoulders. Let the record show. Get the metals heavy metal. I just got 5 old metal destroyer boys. New kit designed from 92, have 5 heavy weapons from an order a while back, and the background just arrived from 8th to 10th, looking good. You're talking about Necron destroyers, Troy? Is that what I'm sensing? Is my understanding correct? Yeah, I think simply mixing a bit of Toxic Mist with Flash Agates will serve as a good blend color. Just with a little bit of testing on this vein here. think we need to keep the yellow in the intersections or corners. I think that is crucial. Can someone please tell me what a storm fiend is? I think it's a rat. Isn't it? Isn't a storm fiend a Skaven unit? Like a rat ogre? Some kind of rat ogre, I think. Oh, now that the AOS indexes are available, I should take a look through the Skaven stuff, because I'm wondering if you could just take a page out of, like, what was it? 4th edition White Dwarf and, like, make a Skaven and 40k conversion, like, FAQ. I wonder if that's plausible, or if it's just too different. Also, having an understanding of how those rules work in Age of Sigmar first might be useful. Still haven't gotten a chance to try out the new AOS. Okay, looking pretty... I think the yellow has made it look better. It is just a gut check, but I believe this to be true. Oh yeah, the backside. We don't talk about the backside, okay? Yeah, adding some off-white to these hot spots or these yellow areas does soften soften the intensity a little bit, which I think is better. Okay. Oh shit. We fucked it up. We've ruined it. Ah, oh, restart. Just give up. Terrible. You know, Winters is saying sisters are made of paper relative to Eldar, and I'm just here like, man, if Eldar had power armor, it'd be pretty good. I think he just means generally speaking. Is that Sultans and Winters? Yeah, I have. I'm just listening to them in the background here while I'm chilling with you guys in chat. I put the link in the description for anyone who wanted to watch along. Thought that's a kind of neat option to have, and then, you know, if not, you can listen to whatever else you'd prefer. But I think they're nearly done at this stage. I sincerely disagree. Like, I don't think Sisters of Battle should have a mounted unit at all. Like, at what point have Sisters of Battle become too similar to Space Marines? I think they've already reached that point with Paragon Warsuits and Celestants, you know, sword and board type Sisters of Battle. But maybe I'm too narrow-minded. Maybe there's a mounted design that could really flex that Witch Hunter identity. Alright, what time are we at here? Probably go for another 15 minutes or so, guys. Maybe I'll put some background music on. See if I can do this on the fly. Okay, I think that should work. Don't know if that volume rating is good. If it's too loud, let me know. And I'll just continue trying to polish off. Well, not polish off, but work on these glowing effects. I think the horn here is a bit too overblown. You need something to talk about, Alfarius. Well, that is a need I have as well. I am not overly... I'm not a social butterfly. I try to be more chatty on these streams, but my nature gets the better of me. I think I've made some good progress on this guy. Okay, let's put a little bit of yellow here. Maybe I should have a notepad that I just add to throughout the week for potential chat conversations with you guys. Maybe that would be a smart move. But it's quite likely that I have had things in mind to bring up in conversation, but in the moment, I can't recall them. I think we're nearly ready for some basing, some water material. Not that I would, that'd be the last, like, final step of the model itself, but I don't think you lose anything by putting it down. And actually, I do want to have some green bounce light on the water surface. I think that's probably a natural thing that would happen. This music's a bit weird. I'm gonna jump forward a bit. I could get a little bit of gold or bronze for these bullets and this skull. I actually think gold would look better. And I'm looking to finish off this Retributor. This thing. You know, I don't think I want that gold. I think a standard metallic color would look better. Or it could be gold, but a very, very muted gold. Yeah, something closer to this is better. Retributor is just too warm. So do you guys have suggestions for the blade colors for this Phoenix Lord? I'll bring her up in a sec here. Yeah, is that gonna focus? Yeah, so she's got these forearm blades. Or wrist-mounted blades? No. Yeah, they're like Baraka blades. What do you think I should do with these? I figure they need an accent color. Initially I was thinking just red to black fade. But I don't think that is, you know, gonna read very well. So I'm open to suggestions if you guys got any. Kind of goofed that edge, that trim. I'll probably clean it up because I do have the armor color on my palette still, but okay, that's better. Yeah, it's a pretty good helmet, I'd say. You guys suppose this edge here should be hot? In the same way these are trying to create that illusion that it's a bright hot ceramite instantly seared through by these by this warp cabbage. Make it a green warpy energy blade. I could do that. That's an option, certainly. You know, That is certainly an option. Is there too much green? I don't know. That could be the case. Could certainly be the case, but it's one of these things that are a little hard to evaluate. What's up with Echo the Dolphin soundtrack? Why is it so chill? I also wonder from an edge highlighting point of view if I should be using a Toxic Mist to really sell the, like, that would be the rim lighting color, right? The Toxic Mist? I think so. Couple mini fairies with that fairy dust to a pin. Not quite sure what you mean there, Troy. But I think I've run out of time here, so I'm gonna wrap up this stream. I think there was a good bit of progress on here, and big thanks to the suggestions on how to go about adding some variance to this warp cabbage. Certainly less cabbage looking now. I think it's better for it. You know, I'll look back at it tomorrow morning with a fresh pair of eyes for I think a clearer evaluation. But I'm already feeling pretty confident this was the right choice. Anyways, guys, you enjoy the rest of your weekend. I have a thematic list build debuting tomorrow morning, so that's something for you guys to check out. But with that, I'm not streaming tomorrow, so probably Monday. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate the hobby camaraderie and hobby hustle on your end, and I'll catch you in the next one.